Hi, it's Cami from the blog Tidbits at tidbits-cami.com. Now, it dawned on me that I have never actually done a living room finished space reveal video or blog post. And I've shown it twice for Christmas home tours, but never actually just as a living room finished space. So I thought it'd be fun to jump on here and do kind of a Q&A style. Since I've shown it for Christmas home tours and on Instagram and such, I've gotten a lot of questions about this space. So as I show it to you, I'll just go through some of the most frequently asked questions I've been getting and hopefully cover them for you. But let's see how our living room turned out in our pole barn home that we've built from the ground up. Now we've been here for two and a half years, and I've just been tweaking this living room space. You may have seen some of my posts and videos as we've added furniture, made over the mantelpiece, added furniture and rugs and whatnot. I've done updates, but never a finished space. And since it's winter, I kind of have just decorated in a very neutral way that could really work any time of the year. So I thought it'd be a great time to show you this space and how it's turned out. So one of the main questions I get is about our couches, and I'd love to tell you a little bit more about them, where we got them and all that stuff. So I bought them from 6 Penny, if you've heard of them, and the thing that sold me on 6 Penny furniture was just right away I found out that they did 100% linen slip covers, and they just have that nubby organic texture that I love so much in linen. So I was pretty sold on saving up my money, and it took about a year. We lived without furniture for quite some time because number one, it took me a while to save up, and two, for them to get shipped here. So it was a good day when it came. Having said that, the downside is that we never sat on the furniture before I bought it. I was kind of willing to take that risk because I thought they were so beautiful, and I'd read reviews and whatnot. So this bigger piece, I wanted this back piece to be kind of the really comfy, cozy couch that we could just sit in and watch TV. It is called the Wyatt sofa, and 6 Penny has since discontinued this piece. And I think it's lovely. I love the top curve that it has. The fabric choices from 6 Penny are amazing, and they have many. I liked the idea of this really deep one-piece cushion. So all in all, it's a great piece. The downsides I have with it, now that we've lived with it for quite some time, it's starting to kind of sag in the middle. You just kind of feel like you're stuck there in this couch. It's comfortable, but also slightly uncomfortable because you can't get in and out very easily. So in that sense, I mean, since it's discontinued, I don't highly recommend it. We still love it. It looks great in this space. And for the time being, I'll just be happy with it. So the other piece is called the Gabrielle. I believe that's how you say it. And make sure you're checking in my description. I'm gonna link to all these resources that I share with you here. So it's the Gabrielle sofa. It's, again, linen slip covered, one cushion. And I really like that simplistic design. What appealed to me about this sofa was that it was low backed. And I have it up here against this big window, and I didn't want a sofa that was big and chunky to kind of hide this amazing view that we have. So that's why I got it, and I thought it would work great. I would just say the downsides to it are it's comfortable if you're laying down on it, and my kids will prop up pillows and lay down and read books all the time on it. But it is not comfortable. It's really deep and then has a very low back. And I've seen they have sectionals in this piece, and I just think it is not super comfortable if you're looking for like a big lounge sofa. So I wouldn't recommend it in that sense. It's lovely. I love the slim minimalistic design. The fabric is to die for. I would recommend this piece if you've got a very formal spot for it, maybe a formal living room that someone just sits up and chats with for a little bit. But if you're looking for like a lounge sofa, I do not recommend the Gabrielle line. Just because of that deep seat and low back. But if you had like an entryway where you just needed a really pretty sofa, I think it would be great for that. So those are my thoughts on the furniture. It's not sponsored. I just wanted to give you total transparency since I get asked about them so much. You know, they look great in this space. They don't truly fit our needs as a family, and kind of, I just want more comfort. So, you know, in a few years, I may look for something else, but for now, it works. So that's the download on our couches if you're curious about that. I also get asked about our rug. It is a beautiful, darker rug. It hides everything. It's so great. So I get asked if this is like an antique wool rug. It's not antique. It is 100% wool. I got it from plushrugs.com, and I will again link it for you. But it's made to look vintage. So I think the colors, the tones are really pretty. Yeah, that's about the rug. And I think it kind of ties and grounds this space in really well and balances kind of the light and dark contrast. Now, people that follow me must know I love antiques, and that's often where I get my furniture. So I've been asked if this coffee table is an antique, and it's not, but I love that it looks that way, and I love that people might ask that question. So I got this coffee table from Amethyst Home. It just has really rustic wood, and I love that it's round. I feel like this space is so boxy that I'm constantly trying to add curves anywhere I can, from the fireplace to the coffee table to our doorways. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm balancing the square and the curves so that we have a more balanced room. So it's not antique, and I will link it for you. Another question I get is about our TV. With the rising of the popularity of the frame TV, I do often get asked, is that a frame TV? Yes, it is. I did an entire blog post and video all about the frame TV, how I feel about it, and all of that. Someday I do hope to add one of the really fancy, pretty frames, and my husband and I have actually talked about how we could make one and make it more unique and more of our own, and hopefully I'd be able to do a tutorial for that someday. So that's just like the one last project for this space that I'm kind of still waiting to do, but it still looks really pretty finished. It sits flush against the wall. I get to rotate art for the seasons or for whatever I'm feeling. So I love the frame TV. Highly recommend it. And while we're looking at the fireplace, I get asked if that is a functioning fireplace. No, it's not. And I've kind of switched out what I put in there right now. My daughter wanted a dog bed for her dog for Christmas, so we got this cute little basket dog bed, and he loves this little cozy spot, so I just put the dog bed in there for now. Sometimes I'll pile up wood to make it look cozy, but it's not an actual wood-burning fireplace. We do have the ability to maybe plug in an electric fireplace back here someday. That's definitely something that we'll probably consider at some point. And my husband has made sure that when we built it, we could actually turn it into a wood-burning fireplace should we ever want to. When we were building it, we were super rushed and just not ready to make that decision. So it's kind of built so it can be adaptable and transitional as our needs and desires maybe change. Maybe they won't. Maybe it will be the dog bed forever. Who knows? All right, moving on to the piano here in the corner. I do get asked about that. It is an antique. It is over 100 years old. I found it for free on Facebook Marketplace. I did have to pay for someone to come and tune it and get it in tip-top shape. We used to have it in the hallway, and before that we just had a small keyboard. I have a few kids learning piano, and I just found that it felt really bulky at the end of the hallway, and also it just didn't get played. Ever since we moved it here into the living room, it gets played all the time, and it's loud and can drive me crazy sometimes, but the kids are playing it and loving it. My oldest daughter, who's 15, is getting really good, so it's an absolute joy to listen to her play, and it's just there and encouraging them to just sit down and pluck away at the chords. I like to keep the decor up there pretty simple, unless it's maybe Christmas. I did put a little tree up there, but it's a really, really beautiful piece. I love the age and the wear and the tear on it. I don't feel like design-wise that is the most ideal spot for a piano in this space. I would have preferred a smaller scale, not so heavy piece of furniture. But again, you gotta kind of try to meld design and lifestyle all together. And so I still feel like it's pretty, and it's definitely serving our needs. So there it will stay for the time being. All right, so I don't get this question much online, but when people come over and they sit and they look around, I often get asked about all the pottery and ceramic and pots that I have around in this space. Some have asked if I'm a potter and if I've made them. No, I am not, but I do love a good ceramic or pottery piece with tons of character, and I just always keep my eye open for unique pieces or pieces in the same color family to kind of add to the collective look in this room. And then they are kind of spaced throughout the house. So it's, I guess, a collection of mine, but also I felt like where I wanted the decor in here to be pretty simple, it was something that I could add, rotate, use for flowers when I needed to. Just a really functional, beautiful piece that I can just continue to look for and collect. So it's fun. I think they're really pretty. I love just finding really unique vessels and then using them for different purposes. They store things. When I need a vessel for flowers, they come very in handy, even for Christmas trees. Anyway, I'm pretty picky about the pieces I'll buy. I always try to look for something unique. The more aged, the better. I even did a DIY vase, and I'll link to a blog post I did on that. This one was really like a Hobby Lobby vase, and I used plaster to give it that kind of aged look. So I try to not pay very much. I try to find the ones that are a great deal and full of characters. So that's the story on the pottery. I don't make it, but I definitely keep my eye out for it. And of course, you've seen the shelf back behind me where I put a lot of the pottery pieces, either just singled or doubled up, depending on what I feel looks good. And a little bit more about that piece, I've been asked if it's an antique, this bookshelf with a little storage underneath. It is not. It was a very, I just want to say crappy piece of furniture when we found it on Facebook for next to nothing. And I painted it with some pure and original paint to give it some nice texture and a beautiful earthy color. I love it. I love that I have display, then I love that I have storage underneath. So it works great. Someday I might switch that out if I see another hutch or something that just takes my breath away. But for now, that works great, and it holds my pottery collection. All right, moving on to these gorgeous double Dutch French doors that are our front doors in the house. They're beautiful. I always get asked where I got them, and I have a terrible answer for it. So it's not helpful, and I always feel bad about that. But these Dutch doors, they do open up halfway and can be opened like French doors. They're gorgeous. It was a huge splurge, and in fact, there were many things in the house that I couldn't do and get finished because I chose to put money there when we were building it. But I'm obsessed with doors and just beautiful doors. So it was just worth it to me, and we'll finish the rest eventually. But I just worked with a local company. I kind of sketched up the door that I kind of wanted. They found the company to make them. So I don't really know who they used, but that was about the only custom piece that I've ever done in a home. They are oak, they're pretty solid. We gave a little whitewash to it to kind of lighten them and then sealed them really good. I've got some brass hardware on there. Love these doors so much. When it's good weather, we'll open up the Dutch door and just let all that breeze blow in, and it feels amazing and just gives us an incredible view. So love the doors. Sorry I can't tell you where I got them, but maybe that's just something for you to consider if you're ever building a home or making, updating a home. Where do you want to put your money? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to get that thing that you would really like? All right, so the curtains on the window, I often get asked, where did I find curtains so long? Because these are 12-foot ceilings and I've only got about a foot of headspace above the curtains. So they are long, and you can't really hop on Amazon and find curtains that long. I should know because I looked and couldn't find them. So what did I do? I made them. I do have a video and blog tutorial all about how I made these, how I put some pinch pleat tape on the top to get that really gathered look. They are pure linen, so I feel like the color and the texture in the linen curtains really flow nicely with the furniture as well. I've got several different color tones, but all very organic and neutral looking, and I just love linen. As you guys probably already know, I do have a Tidbits linen shop. I will also link that below, and I'm just getting started on that. I've got lots of ideas for my Tidbits linen shop, but I'm growing as I can and without making myself crazy. But anyway, love linen, made those curtains, and you can too. Curtains are so easy. So if you need really long curtains, you can either get them custom made and spend probably $1,000 or more, or you can get fabric and make them. They're super easy. If you know how to hem, you got this. It's a lot of fabric to deal with, but it is possible. Speaking about the linens, I don't often get asked where I get my pillows and throws, but some I've made. This long lumbar one I made the cover for out of green linen, of course. And then I've just got these throws and pillows in various places. I will often make new covers for these throughout the seasons, but right now these were all ones that I'd actually bought or were given to me by brands to promote. So I will link any of the linens you see that are purchasable down below. I'm often getting asked about this light fixture in this room when I show little glimpses of it. It's definitely a unique piece. I found it at an antique market. I'm not entirely sure about the size and scale of it compared to this room. I feel like I need something bigger here, but it has that antique vibe with the aged brass, so, and the white porcelain. Or it was probably ceramic. But anyway, I love it. It looks really good. My husband actually rewired it so that it was safe because we didn't know. It was pretty old. But it looks real nice with the other big chandelier that I put in the center of, I have the living room and the kitchen. So I have this really big chandelier in the middle that kind of, and then chandeliers line the hallway down. So it kind of centers it all, and I feel like the lighting in these three spaces work. One is grandiose, and then the ones in the kitchen are really minimalistic. And this one's a little bit in between. So that's something I've played around with, and it might be swapped out someday, but again, plan on just leaving this room alone for the time being. All right, I'm gonna finish up with one of the main questions I get whenever I show my home. Where did you get that flooring? So this wide plank, white oak flooring is gorgeous, and I love it. In fact, if we ever build a home again, which I can't even think about at this point, but I think I want this flooring for life. It hides scratches, it hides dirt. It's a beautiful color, and I love the wide plank. It cleans up really nice. Anyway, I got it from Floor & Decor, and it is engineered hardwood, and it's just glued right down onto our cement slab because we have the pole barn home. It falls in the line, I think, of the European wire brushed flooring at Floor & Decor. I know that they have a few different colors. This was the European white oak, and love it. And I believe they have some darker tones as well, but as far as the flooring goes, love it. And if you have a Floor & Decor in your area, definitely go and check it out. Or I think you can order samples. I hope they still have this flooring. It's been 2 years since I got it, but we have it all throughout the house, in all the bedrooms, everywhere except for the bathrooms, and then we're gonna put tile in the mudroom that we've added. So it's everywhere. Bedrooms, down the hallway, living room and kitchen, and it's holding up fantastic, and it's beautiful. It's just a medium toned wood that goes with everything. So apparently other people like it too because they've asked me a lot about it. All right, well, I think I'll finish up this video. I actually, as I was thinking about this, there are some design regrets that I have about this space, and not that I want to be ungrateful, but I think I'll come back in another video and share with you what some of those regrets are. Just because I find, this is a first home we built, and I think it's helpful to share those regrets in case someone else is building or remodeling. Just some other elements to think about from someone who's done it and maybe wish they would have done something different. Because building can be stressful, you're working with budget and time crunches. Anyway, I'll talk more about that in the next video as I come back to share with you some of the design regrets I have for this space. Let me know if that's something that you're excited about. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back with more inspiration for do-it-yourself living.